rows on True TV, 76,000. I said this last time. Shout out to Mrs. Me Too.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Angel Reese has to handle a challenging circumstance. As league viewership drops, her prominence wanes. Her publicity was once praised, but now it's being questioned if it has actually hurt the game more than helped it. A far more shocking story is revealed by the figures. It is obvious that Americans have no interest in watching phony basketball. I don't think that. It is true. When the Unmatched League, which was hailed as a game-changer in women's basketball, debuted with an incredible 300,000 viewers for its first 3 games, expectations were pretty high.
Americans are clearly not interested in watching pretend basketball. That's not my opinion, it's a fact.
Everyone believed that, like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese would outperform every other player in the league and boost ticket sales and viewership. But as everyone knows, Angel doesn't have the same influence as Caitlin. Even though they don't want to, fans are increasingly choose to watch Kate Martin. However, Angel Reese is not a member of this league. Reese, Angel. This Angel Reese gets paid by this league. Reese's performance causes the league's viewership to substantially fall, suggesting that her presence may not be as big of a lure as previously thought, while other league stars continue to maintain or even increase viewing when they hit the floor. Reese's games have significantly decreased, and there are a number of possible reasons for this. Both Reese and the league are concerned about the drop in numbers. Fans might have expected a more polished, dominant version of her game. Or maybe the competition draws attention to aspects of her performance that weren't as noticeable at the collegiate level.
We gotta be completely honest here. It is a league first and foremost, and the most important thing is that the league long-term is going to be profitable, or at least it looks like it has the potential to be. Otherwise, once that TV deal is done in 3 years, it's over. And right now, this has not been the greatest look in the world for Unrivaled.
Reese's benching in favor of Lexi Hall was one of the low points of her early career in the Unbeatable League. She played better than Reese in a number of areas of the game, which prompted the coaching staff to take a risk. As Hall assumed her duty, she found herself observing from the sidelines. Even worse, Reese's performance when she did play her fell well short of what the audience had anticipated. She struggled to have an effect on either end of the court in her weakest game of the season. Her defensive shortcomings were obvious, and her typical domination in the paint was minimized. Fans were accustomed to seeing Reese as an aggressive, self-assured player. Instead, he appeared uncertain, out of sync, and occasionally entirely lost. A stretch in which Reese was repeatedly beaten off the dribble, seeming slow-footed and unable to react defensively, was one of the game's lowest points. She attempted a putback layup under more poor light, but the ball struck the bottom of the hoop. A moment that swiftly spread on social media as a representation of her challenges. These poor performances have increased the debate over whether Reese is a real professional star or just the product of unfulfilled hype.
Unrivaled, averaging 204,000 viewers to date. Monday night, there were 2 more games broadcast on TNT. The first game was between the Vinyl and the Phantom. Interesting choice of words, Phantom. It perfectly describes their ratings. Their audience is a ghost. They literally cannot find people willing to...
Similar to how Angel Reese performed over Azure. In the 4th of Azure, they began Angel Reese. And notice how awful Angel Reese's game was. Like an awful game. The important question is raised by the decline in attendance during Reese's performances. Why don't fans continue to watch her? The discrepancy between expectations and reality could be one reason. Many people thought Reese would dominate the league as she did in college, since she had a great brand and a significant social media following. Professional play, however, has a distinct set of difficulties, and it is evident that she faces intense competition. Supporters may have been disappointed and turned their attention elsewhere after expecting to see the same level of dominance. Reese excels in the paint and is a potent rebounder. However, her game might not be as interesting to watch in a league that increasingly prioritizes speed, shooting, and variety. Reese's inability to consistently make an impact has been exacerbated by Lexi Hall's recent benching. Reese's confidence can be damaged when a player who was previously heralded as a future star is sidelined. Fans may also read this as a sign that Ree is experiencing mental health issues, which could make them less interested in seeing her perform. Reputable Lexi Hall demonstrating the process to Angel Reese. For Angel Reese, it was a terrible game. She is working for males. Due to the sharp decline in viewership when she plays, the early results in the Unmatched League have been a humiliating experience. And court battles are definitely a wake-up call. It remains to be seen if this is a temporary setback or a more complete disclosure of her limitations. But it's clear that in order to recover her star power, Ree will need to do more than simply rely on social media and her accolades. For women's basketball, the Unmatched League was supposed to be a new beginning. However, it feels more like a hard reality check for Angel Reese. Whether she can turn things around or if the league and its supporters are prepared to move on without her will be determined in the next few games. It's time for Buzz to demonstrate that she is more than simply a moniker. On the court, she must also be a game share. However, Angel Reese in particular has been cruelly exposed, and her own fans have quit following her. They are no longer observing. How are you aware of this? 89,000 people watched her on TV last Saturday. 89,000. Angel Reese wanted her moment to be a signature shot that would establish her dominance in the game and send a message to her detractors, so she stood firmly at the logo and pulled up for a long three-pointer. Caitlin Clark's ball flew through the air, clanking off the rim in a mist so harsh that the crowd's collective response was an audible groan, rather than splashing the net with a picture-perfect shot. Although it wasn't what Reese had anticipated, it was a crucial occasion.
Angel Reese does not belong in this league. Angel Reese, this league is a paycheck for Angel Reese.
While Reese struggled to find her flow, Kate Martin continued to show that she was the true breakthrough star of Unrivaled despite the league being packed of highly anticipated names. Martin had quietly established herself as the team's most dependable and effective member. Her performance was so obvious that she didn't need any publicity. Furthermore, it was obvious who was better when it came to Reese. Martin was the engine of the LAC, using relentless force to control both ends of the floor. Shots' aggressiveness was what truly set the tone when Reyes tried to score by driving into the lane. Reese gave assists and battled for every ball that was lost, but when Martin tackled her hard yet cleanly, she fell to the ground. At that moment, there was a symbolic shift as one athlete failed to live up to expectations while the other surpassed them all. The Laces, who executed with accuracy and exposed every weakness in their opponents, overwhelmed Reese's team from start to finish. Martin showed her leadership by managing the game's speed and delivering at pivotal moments, while Reyes battled to find her footing. Martin led her team to yet another resounding victory by the time the final buzzer blew. The entire story was displayed on the scoreboard. The only real celebrity to come out of Unrivaled thus far was Kate Martin. Although she wasn't the loudest player on the court or the one with the highest standards, she had consistently demonstrated that she has the abilities, resilience, and mindset necessary to guide a team to victory. While Reese's team continued to struggle, the Laces remained unbeaten.
She's incredible. She's got range that you have to pick her up basically as soon as she crosses the half court line, because she's dangerous from everywhere. Like you're watching shooting against her. Like Caitlin Clark's going to be in that conversation here for years. Not like that girl can flat out.
The league, which was established to highlight top talent, is already struggling to maintain fans' attention. Reese's difficulties have prompted concerns about her ability to change and demonstrate that she is more than simply a moniker. She was definitely overshadowed by Kate Martin on this specific evening, and the Laces were excellent. However, if Caitlin Clark were unmatched, it wouldn't even be fair. She would put on a shooting clinic, scorch defenders, and knock down logo threes throughout the entire game, instead of engaging in unparalleled play. In addition to controlling the competition, Clark's presence would highlight how drastically different her performance is from that of the other players. It was anticipated that Unrivaled would be a novel and thrilling addition to women's basketball. However, The truth is that the game isn't meeting expectations in the absence of its real superstars. The league's initial hype is rapidly fading, and its ratings are still dropping. Unrivaled relies on star power to sustain its momentum, but the lack of stars like Clark has demonstrated that talent depth is a problem. Despite the famous players in the league, Clark is getting ready for yet another memorable WNBA season. Without her special blend of talent, shooting range, and audience command, Clark, a once-in-a-generation talent, fails to achieve the widespread acclaim it had hoped for.
Probably not one individual player that has benefited more from Unrivaled than Kate Martin. Look, Kate Martin was somebody that came into the WNBA and nobody, and I mean nobody, thought she was going to make the Las Vegas Aces roster. Like, the Las Vegas Aces drafted 3 players. Obviously, Liz Kitley was injured. Everyone thought kind of, Liz Kitley's probably going to go and make that Vegas team eventually. And a lot of people thought Deasia Fair was going to make that team. But Deasia Fair gets cut, Kate Martin makes the team, and within 5 games, she is a star.
Kate Martin, one of the few genuine standouts, has consistently shown her worth. She is resilient, adaptable, and has consistently risen to the occasion. She set the tone for her team's triumph with her aggressive performance, which featured a powerful, clean tackle on Angel Reese. The league doesn't have a defining superstar who can actually raise its profile, notwithstanding Martin's rise. Angel Reese, meantime, has found it difficult to live up to the expectations. Her attempt at a classic Clark shot, a deep 3, was a stinging reminder of the disconnect between execution and confidence. The Laces have yet to lose, exhibiting a level of unity and performance that other teams have not been able to match. The failure signified an unprecedented broader struggle to deliver at the stated level. And it wasn't just a missed opportunity. You might as well just trade Angel Reese if you're in the lead if Lexi Ho is making the layups and grabbing rebounds. What are they? The Lace. Caitlin Clark breaks records, expands her skill set, and proves why she